Welcome to the 5th Executive Leadership Council Business Brief. I'm Mike Hyder, President and CEO of the Executive Leadership Council. And as we celebrate the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation's 50th Annual Legislative Conference, we're also celebrating another important milestone regarding the ELC's giving to the organization. It's been 10 years since we began holding our annual reception with the Links Incorporated, Sigma Pi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, also known as the Boulé, and us during the CBC ELC week. And although we aren't able to gather in person this year, unfortunately, for what has become one of the hottest tickets of the week, we wanted to make sure that we celebrated our 10-year anniversary by doing something big for future Black public policy leaders of America. 5 years ago, our three organizations created the ELC Links Boule Summer Intern Fellowship as part of the CBC Foundation's fellowship program. And this year, we are increasing our financial commitment, and each of our organizations are going to be donating $10,000 each to help the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation, CBCF, in its efforts to support early career Black policy professionals looking to learn how they can contribute to the public policy field. Fellows that receive hands-on public policy training as full-time legislative aides and policy analysts. This fellowship is important because African Americans are historically disadvantaged, under-resourced, and marginalized, and we, along with the CBCF, believe that by training young policy minds, we can ensure there will be a Black decision maker at the table as these discussions are being made in the future. Here to discuss the importance of our longstanding partnership and ongoing contribution to the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation Fellowship Program, we have Dwayne Murray, I'm honored to say, our grandsire of Sigma Pi Phi Fraternity, or the Boulé. Hello, grandsire. I'll call you Dwayne now.
Welcome, everyone to this listening audience. I'm pleased to be with you today. Mike, you're doing such a great job. I've had an opportunity to watch the prior series of ELC's briefing, and you're doing such a wonderful job. So kudos to you, my friend. I'm excited to be a part of this wonderful celebration with Congressional Black Caucus Foundation. Yes, we have come together, three organizations, ELC, the Links, and Sigma Pi Phi. And the Boule is so excited to be a part of this relationship. For years, we have done things that other organizations will not do. Most of us have our hands out, oftentimes looking for support, looking for sponsorships. But here's an opportunity for the three well-seated organizations to be able to do something a little bit different. We're giving back, and I'm proud to be a part of that.
Good, and I'm just so excited that you're here and that we have the opportunity to chat. And thank you for your kind words as well. Dwayne, why is the Boulé's support of this fellowship so important to you?
Well, one of the things that I found, Mike, is that so many of our young people have latent talents that just need an opportunity to be developed. Mm-hmm. And through gift giving of this kind, be it scholarships, be it grants that young people may have an opportunity to write for, these are opportunities that will open doors, make available awareness for young people to be able to participate in fields otherwise that they might not have an opportunity to do. In other words, what CBC is doing with the policy initiatives and having young people to be made available for internships and fellowships is, just an awakening call for all of us. Young people in their districts, for example, say in the state of Louisiana, will have an opportunity maybe to leave the state of Louisiana, go to Washington, D.C., to meet leaders in this nation, to sit down with senators, to sit down with representatives of the various districts all across this nation, to meet young people from all walks of life, but at the same time, be able to understand, be able to analyze policy that will affect this nation. I believe that the moral welfare and health of this nation is dependent upon the young people that we, who are now college trained, have an opportunity to give something back to make sure that their path to success is not the hard road that most of us have had to travel.
Yeah, I just listening even to your example, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Just making opportunities available for people. And You think about all of the folks who are going to be running the country that will have benefited from this effort. And so, I share and echo your enthusiasm about this. Can you tell us a little bit about the Boulé's efforts around supporting the Black Talent Pipeline and Black corporate business community? Because I know that's also important to you as well.
Yes, we're working right now. One of our major initiatives is called the Parity Project for Black America. The Parity Project is Sigma Pi Phi fraternity, wide call to action and service. And what we're trying to do here is we're trying to promote highly compensated STEM-related careers and opportunities for Black high school students, college students, and early career stage adults. Through this initiative, what we want to do is build a pipeline of at least 5,000 inspiring young people who are interested in the world of STEM to be able to move into those highly compensated careers. Through the Parity Project for America, we recognize that the goal is to address the Black-white wealth gap and accelerate the achievement of economic parity in Black America through greater representation in the lucrative STEM fields.
Wow, great. That's exciting as well. And given that we're supporting the CBCF and legislation and policy is such an important part of our systemic needs for advancement, talk about the Boulé's legislative priorities and what it's doing or currently advocating for.
Well, we have three major goals this year: voting rights, criminal justice reform, and continued advocacy for HBCUs. Through voting rights initiatives and awareness, we partnered with the lawyers from DC and had an opportunity to be able to advocate during the most recent elections, the opportunity to make sure that we had poll watchers, the opportunity to make sure that young people on college campuses participated in the voting process. We had a webinar that hosted several leaders all across this nation that spoke about the importance of the vote and the importance of the 13th Amendment and equal access and justice for so many across this nation. And in smaller communities throughout the nation, people believe that maybe their vote doesn't count. And here's an opportunity that Sigma Pi Phi is presenting to the nation to make sure that the awareness is made available that your vote will count, no matter how many in your community might vote on any initiative, be it a local election or regional election or a national election, but every vote does count.
Wow. Well, Dwayne, thank you. It's obvious the Boulé is continuing its legacy of doing great things for the Black community. This was such a great conversation, and we appreciate you so much for your ongoing commitment to young Black talent and to our partnership with the Links and the CBC. Take care.
Thank you very much.
And here to discuss the importance of our long-standing partnership and ongoing contribution to the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation Fellowship Program on the heels of their 5th annual legislative summit, we have, I'm pleased to say, Dr. Kimberly Jeffries Leonard, the 17th president of the Links Incorporated. Hey, Kimberly.
Hey, Mike, how are you? It's so good to be here. I'm so excited to be here and be a part of the ELC's business conversation. And I'm especially excited to be able to talk about what we've been doing for a long time. But as you said, on the 50th anniversary of the CBC's annual legislative weekend. So this is exciting for me.
Awesome. And I'm just so glad you're here. So why is the Links Incorporated support of this fellowship important to you?
Well, this has been a long-standing relationship with ELC and the Boulé. And we started this over 13 years ago, under the leadership of our 15th national president, Margot James Copeland. And things don't change. It was important then and it's important now. It's important for us to be able to reach into the community and to support fellows who are moving forward to gain that knowledge and that exposure and that experience for the kinds of things that the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation provides them. We want to ensure that we are building the pipeline for the next generation of legislators, entrepreneurs, business owners. And that's why this is so important for us to be able to put our funds, and the weight of our organization behind this is critically important for us. It aligns with our values, and it aligns with where we're going as an organization and where we've been. We're getting ready to celebrate our 75th anniversary, and this is consistent with what we've done over the last 75 years.
Well, and congratulations in advance of the 75th anniversary. Oh my goodness, that's awesome. You know, you referenced pipeline. Can you tell us about the Links Incorporated efforts around supporting the Black talent pipeline and the Black corporate business community?
Absolutely. We've done so much in that area over the years, from our corporate relationships and from our partnerships and collaborations, but also internally. We have a number of programs that allow us to not only support our own link entrepreneurs, but budding entrepreneurs outside of the organization. We have a very strong relationship with historically Black colleges and universities. That's very important. You know, very often our corporations will get 2 resumes, Harvard and Howard, and they're going to look at Harvard because of what they think. Although we know that our HBCUs produce such really impactful, brilliant talent coming out. And so for us, we have HBCU engagement. We have what we call our LEAP Links Economic Empowerment Platform, which allows us to be able to leverage not only our historically Black colleges and university students, but our own internal links around entrepreneurship. We partnered with OHUB, 100 Black Angels, to be able to ensure that our members understand what that corporate engagement looks like. And also we've moved with boards, because we know that it's one thing to support corporations and engage and partner with corporations, but unless you're sitting at the table at the highest level, sometimes these things don't work. And so we have a very robust comprehensive program to ensure that our corporate engagement and support is impactful and transformative.
Wow. Wow. Well, you just expanded everyone's appreciation and understanding beyond what Links Incorporated is involved in. And given that we're in the CBCF a week, and there's a lot of what public policy kind of discussions that are going on as a result of it, can you briefly talk about the Links Incorporated's legislative priorities, or what your organization is currently advocating for?
You know, we are a nonpartisan organization. As you know, we're a 501c3 and a 501c4 on our Inc. side. And as you said, we just celebrated and finished our 5th annual legislative summit. Mm-hmm. And in that, what we have presented as our legislative and advocacy agenda is not partisan. It is around those things that are going to empower and impact our communities. Things like the Momnibus that pushes maternal health, because we know that socioeconomic status has nothing to do with the fact that Black women are at the highest risk. Fair wages. We are behind tobacco and health related policies, policies that address human trafficking, and of course, voting rights. I mean, that is really, really critical. Even when you look at all of the policies that we're behind, that is at the highest level of our list. The George Floyd Police and Justice and Policing Act, those 2 pieces, if we cannot continue to vote fairly, then none of this matters, because we will have no representation at the table. And that's what's so very at the forefront of our legislative agenda, because we can have a long list of legislative, our legislative advocacy pieces, but unless our communities, we have representation at the table, unless we're able to vote fairly, freely, then it doesn't matter. And so those are the things that the Links Incorporated has put their weight behind. But I invite you to go to www.linksinc.org, and then you'll see the full complement of our legislative agenda there.
Wow. Thank you, Kimberly. It sounds like the Links Incorporated is continuing its legacy of doing great things for Black women and the Black community. Well, this was great.
We are trying. We are absolutely trying. Thank you so much.
Oh, I think you're doing more than trying. You're making it happen. So I really, really appreciate that. This was such a great conversation, and we appreciate you so much for your ongoing commitment to young Black talent, as well as to our partnership with your organization and the Boule and the CBC. So to our viewers, thank you for joining us, and stay tuned for details about our next ELC CEO LinkedIn chat coming up in October. Thanks.